welcome into the Factor Back Studios for the Steelers Playbook show. This week, it is a rematch of the Cincinnati Bengals, all right, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, in the first matchup, if you remember, defensively, that's where we're going to start. They were devastated. Highsmith, Watt, both out. And early in the matchup, they made some mistakes. But what was interesting, later in the game, they adjusted, and they corrected those mistakes. I want to show you a few of those plays and how I expect them to play in this particular matchup. Now, this was very early in the game. The one thing to notice right off the bat, they're in an empty formation. Well, that is a good formation to blitz unless your quarterback's going to get it out quick. And the Steelers are pretty basic here. I mean, they're just bringing 4 people here. What the Bengals do is they actually create a mismatch. They get this wide receiver close to the formation on Bush, a linebacker. In any situation, you consider that a mismatch because you like a wide receiver on your linebacker. Well, then they run what we always have called a jerk route. The reason they call it a jerk route is because they make this guy, unfortunately, look like a jerk because they go inside and out. Well, Joe Burrow sees it, they throw it, poor tackling, bumper pull, we got a touchdown. From the end zone, though, I want you to see, actually, Bush does a pretty good job. You know, you don't want to get beat inside. That's what he's doing. He wants to drive the receiver back out. And he does a good job of that initially. You know, he's playing that. Now the receiver, this is the jerk part, goes to the outside. Here's the problem. That's not a tackle. I don't know what that is, but that is not a tackle. That may be why you got traded to Kansas City. Because those things happen, people are going to score touchdowns. Well, later in the game, empty formation. There's Joe Burrow. Different look, though, this time. The Steelers, boy, they got people up in here. They're threatening. Love it when you blitz, because if you pressure this guy with nobody in the backfield, they got to get rid of the football so quick. Well, at the top of his drop, I mean, everybody is covered. Much better job here of getting people covered, and you're bringing pressure. Well, Joe Burrow tries to leave. They end up sacking him. Well, they got better there, but the running game was also a factor. If you remember early in the game, the Bengals did a great job of their outside zone. They got people accounted for. They had running lanes for Mixon all day long, wherever he wanted to go. Initially, they got stung with that. They didn't get off blocks. People were being accounted for, and they got chunks yards. Well, later in the game, what do they do to counter that? Keep in mind, all these linebackers are hurt, so that's a factor. So they start doing this, standing people up. Now, why do you do that? The reason you do that, you make it hard on these cats to find you. You know, they like it when you're down here in the trenches, okay? They don't like it when you're standing back there. So that really helped. At the line of snap of the ball, gosh, penetration. You got people down at line of scrimmage. Bush is here. You got people all over the place. Now Mixon goes this way. Completely different in the second half. So there were adjustments made. Now, when you look at the second matchup, with all the Steelers being healthy this time, I expect a completely different game. I don't expect all of those mistakes that you saw early in the game. I expect to see what we saw at the end. So if they play like that, obviously have a much better chance of winning. Now, let's take a look at the Steeler offense versus that Bengal defense. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into the Factor Back Studios. We're going to take a look at the Steeler offense against the Bengal defense. Round 2. I expect it to be a lot different outcome, especially with how this offense is playing. In the Bengal matchup, the first time, I actually thought that's when you start to see the growth of their offense. In the first half, you didn't, but in the second half, you did. And let me show you some plays in the first half, but how they got better in the second half. Let's go to their running game. You know, the problems that they were having at times is just not accounting for people. Well, this time they do a great double here, tackle works out, but they don't account for the end here. And he gets in the backfield. And that was kind of what was happening in the early part of the year. Missing assignments, not communicating very well. Well, you already got penetration. Najee hasn't even touched the ball yet. Penetration, #1 killer in the running game. And it completely ruined the running game initially, early in the game. But in the second half, a lot of things changed. And this is where I thought the Steelers start to come together as a team and an offensive line. Great double teams here, and then they move up here to get the linebacker. That really allows your running back options, but he presses the hole and reads these blocks. Well, they were done so well that Najee just kept going downhill. Breaks an arm tackle, makes somebody move, which he's so good at, extra yards. That got better in the second half. Well, the passing game was the same way. This is a blitz look. You got 8 guys up here for the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, that is a blitz look if you've ever seen it. And they all end up coming. But look what happens as they come. I mean, Ben's got to get rid of the football. Nobody here is looking for the ball. You got an unfree guy here and a free defender here, so that ball does have to come out. Well, nobody's looking. It's hard to complete it when nobody's looking. But in the second half, or the second time they see this, it's very similar. The only difference, even though this is a blitz look, you got your safety deep because he's covering Najee. Now, when they blitz this one, actually Claypool is going to look, but they're going to keep running their glance routes. But what the Steelers do is the adjustment. They bring Najee across here, and with no extra guy, because he's in the backfield, they get the ball to him. So they did some things in the second half, and they adjusted. They got better in their running game. They got better in the passing game. And if they can keep doing that and keep building like they have been, man, that's going to be a lot different in Cincinnati the second go-around.
What's up, Steelers Nation? It's James Washington. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to like and comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to the Steelers official YouTube channel. Thanks again, and here we go.